Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is the December 2021 MacVoices update. I wanted to get one more update in this year to bring you up to speed on a number of things, not the least of which is that as I record this, I'm only a few hours past making the decision not to go to CES this year. To give you the short version, there are just too many companies that are canceling out. There are too many variables, too many uncertainties. I'm not sure that the trip would be worth it. I would love to say that I know a lot of my friends from different vendors around the world are going to be there, but it's not going to be the case. I wish the best to CES, and I sincerely hope that CES occurs again next year in the fashion that we're all accustomed to, and that we don't have yet another variant to deal with. But at this point, the odds are just not in favor of making the trip. So I did want to just talk a little bit about, though, how I plan to do my CES coverage. Several of the press events are being rescheduled for online only. Some are having supplemental sessions, which I think is absolutely terrific. And of course, then a number of the PR companies are reaching out saying that their clients are not going, but they are scheduling online interviews or discussions. And those I hope to take advantage of and bring to you as part of the CES coverage. As with all my CES coverage, you get there and there are things that may not fit very neatly into the Apple-oriented space that MacVoices occupies, but they're too good to be true to pass up. They're too good not to bring you and talk about, maybe in the scope of a larger interest from a tech standpoint, or a productivity standpoint, or an efficiency standpoint. So I'm already seeing a couple of those that I plan to get on the show. So if you see something that is like, well, that's not exactly Apple-oriented or even Apple-adjacent, yeah, you're probably going to be right. But I think it's going to be interesting, and it's something that I would like to bring to you because I'd like to know more about it myself. So you can expect that CES coverage coming whenever it comes. All the rules are changing this year. And of course, I know that the folks we'll be interviewing will be having challenging schedules as well. So it is what it is, and we're just going to have to see it through as best we all can. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I don't want to leave thank yous to the end of the show, just because that always seems like a bit of a throwaway. I want to right up front say thank you to everyone who has come on MacVoices this year. Vendors, friends, authors, everybody who has come on and shared their knowledge, their wisdom. They've taught us how to use products we already have better. They've introduced us to new products. They've given opinions about things that were happening in the tech world. Just an amazing group. So thank you all, whether you've been on once or multiple times. I so much appreciate you giving of your time and your information. The MacVoices panel, MacVoices Live panel, I should say, shows up every Tuesday night, and we'd love to have you join us, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, whatever time that is, wherever you are. These folks show up because of their own free will every Tuesday night to share information, discuss things, and in general, have a good time. And I think that is the thing that has become the hallmark of those sessions, is that we do have a good time. Sometimes the shows are a little bit crazy, and sometimes they're a little bit serious. But I think they're always informative, and I definitely enjoy them. Tuesday nights have become a highlight of the week for me because of MacVoices Live. We'd love to have you join us in the chat room. So set your smart assistant to remind you Tuesday nights at the appointed hour, and join us at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. The next thing I want to talk about is the MacVoices Slack. It's something that we started this year as a bit of an experiment and as a reward to some of our top-level Patreon supporters. And after receiving some emails, some questions, discussing it with a few folks, I've decided to update at the requirements or qualifications, perhaps, for the Slack. So starting on January 1st, anyone who supports MacVoices on Patreon at any level, top tier to bottom tier, will receive access to the MacVoices Slack. I do want to limit it to patrons just because we're using it as a bit of a reward for those folks who really do help support the cause. And it also keeps, unfortunately, the the people out that you don't want, the spammers and the people that abuse things. So that's why there is going to be a Patreon requirement. So, and by the way, some of you are wondering what the heck is the MacVoices Slack, or what is Slack? It's a private little, call it message board, channel, whatever, that you're probably familiar with some of these because it's similar to a lot of things that have become very popular during the pandemic. But it's a place where the MacVoices patrons, the MacVoices live panel, and I can interact, ask questions of each other, share stories, share information in a controlled fashion and in a little more intimate fashion than just posting it out on emails or posting it on YouTube or whatever. So, if you would like to be a member of the MacVoices Slack and want to be, therefore, a patron of MacVoices, visit patreon.com/MacVoices, sign up at whatever level you're comfortable with, and give it a try. If you have signed up and been a patron at those levels for 2021 that qualified you, you may or may not have taken advantage of those invitations. If you choose not to, hey, that's fine. That's your prerogative. This is supposed to be a benefit for you. But I would encourage you to give it a shot. You may take you just a little while to get the hang of things, but it's a lot of fun. We have a good time, just like we do on MacVoices Live, and a lot of good information gets traded. So, you will be receiving another invitation from me if you already are a MacVoices patron. If you're a new MacVoices patron on January 1st, or as of January 1st, you'll receive another invitation. So feel free to take advantage of it and join us. We have a lot of fun there, and we'd love to have you there with us as well. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is MacVoices After Dark, the show that we record that consists of the pre- and post-show commentary and discussions for MacVoices Live. These are always, you never know what's going to come out. A lot of times they're off topic. They are definitely uncensored. Sometimes they get heated. Sometimes they get crazy. But it's always just a lot of fun. And the only way you get access to that is being a MacVoices patron, again, at any level. So that's one more reason to sign up for Patreon and MacVoices. Lastly is MacVoices Magazine. It's been very interesting to me the last couple weeks. There's been a bit of a drought of how-to and quality information out there as folks do year-end wrap-ups and top 10 lists and all those kind of things. And then all of a sudden this week, things broke loose, and there are a lot of how-tos and great information out there, whether you're a new Apple device owner of some stripe or whether you just are looking to learn more about what you can do with the hardware you already have. So again, it's free. I encourage you to check it out. It is available on the web, but it is also available, and my favorite way to consume MacVoices Magazine, because I read it myself, even though I curate it, is on Flipboard on your iPad or your iPhone. So check that out. I will have links in the show notes to all these things so that you can find them easily and access them easily. But I think it is a resource out there that many of you are taking advantage of. Some of you may not be taking advantage of. So I think with that, we're headed toward the support report, but there's one more thank you I do want to do, and that's to all the vendors and companies who have supported MacVoices this year. You have seen them, you've seen their ad spots in MacVoices. Hopefully you have taken advantage of some or all of them, because I am somewhat careful about what companies I agree to allow to support MacVoices. I really don't want to just bring you anything and have people just say, okay, what does it cost? I want to run an ad. I would like to think that I try to maintain a certain amount of quality with our advertisers. And so if you see it, it means that it has passed my muster, and I think it is worthy of your attention. It's up to you as to whether you want to take advantage of what they sell or what they offer and how you do that, but at least it's worthy of your attention. So with that, let's go to this month's support report. And there haven't been a lot of changes since November, but we will dig into it anyway. We had no one at Platinum, but at Gold, we had Webb B, David G, and Frank P. At Silver, we had Craig A, Tim G, Michael D, Bruce E, Chuck P, Hal P, George R, Newt S, and Daniel S. And at Bronze, we had Tom C, Greg H, Clinton M, John M., and Prop P. You probably recognize some of those names as consistent supporters of MacVoices, and you'd be right. Some of them have been with us all year, some of them have been with us a whole lot longer. And I reserve my final thanks to those folks who have supported us for so much time and through so many shows. I really, really, really appreciate everything you have done for us. I've said a dozen times, you guys are the bedrock of the MacVoices support. You're the ones that make sure that the bills can get paid and that we can keep bringing you the MacVoices shows that we do. So thank you very much for being part of the team, and I do consider you part of the team. Thank you. With that, I wish you a happy new year. I hope that 2022 turns out better for all of us than 2021 has, and that things get back to maybe not normal, because I don't think we have a normal anymore. But let's just say get back to something a little more consistent and just a little more open so that we can all enjoy things just a little more than we have been. With that, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.